J-Drone here. What's going on, guys? Quality might not be great. Bear with it. I'm sure the content will be, and maybe some of you will find it interesting. Several months back, my house got robbed by a 10-year-old. Some of you may remember this. Some of you may not remember this. If you want to hear a quick version of the story, hopefully my mount doesn't fall. It's extremely humid outside. Basically, the only day out of the year that my dogs weren't home, I took them to my brother's because the very next day we were going to Wildwood with my son. Took my dogs, and then me, my wife, and my son are going to go out to eat. We go out to eat. We come back from eating, and there's a bicycle on my lawn. No big deal. Kid probably left it there, not worried about it. Neighborhood kid. So we step into my front porch, which is the enclosed porch, and there are two little shoes in front of my door, and the door is cracked open. Great, somebody's in my house. Then after that, my wife and my son go through. My wife and my son are behind me. I'm going in the house, and I'm approached by this little dude. It's a 10-year-old. I didn't know the age until after the fact, but it's a 10-year-old. I said, "What the F are you doing in my house?" A little bit more harsh than what I just relayed it. He said, "I don't know." And I said, "What the F do you mean you don't know?" Again, a little bit more harsh. And he, "I don't know." I said, run your pockets, street terms for turn your pockets inside out. He did so very quickly, and close to 300 some odd dollars hit the floor, about 50 and change, and the rest in bills. So, all right, I'm mad now, but it's not my kid. I can't discipline him. So I say, I'm calling the cops. No, don't call the cops. I'm calling the cops. No, don't call the cops. Tell my wife to call the cops. So meanwhile, my son and my wife have gone through, I told you that I was going to fall. It's extremely humid out. My son and my wife are going through the house. They find the back porch smoldering. He tried to catch my back porch on fire, which is made out of wood. The floors are carpeted. He also ate 2 quarts of ice cream. He also heated up a Hot Pocket that he must have bring in the house because we ain't have no Hot Pockets in the house. Okay, so all this is said and done. I've recovered my money. The cops come to take the kid, only to tell me they need my money back. What do you mean you need my money back? I just recovered it, right? Well, we need it for evidence if you're going to press charges. It's like, you got to be kidding me. I'm leaving for the beach the very next day. It's a substantial amount of money to be without, especially leaving for the beach the very next day. But they had to have it. I wanted to have charges pressed against them, so they took the money, they took the kid. Get back to my house. I watch my DVR on my security camera because at some point the kid told the officer that there was another person in the house, and I'm thinking, oh great, how many people were in my house? I need to know, because that's my dude. You just invaded my privacy. You just invaded my house, point period. I watched the DVR footage. He was the only one in the house. That was just a lie. So there was only one person in my house. Meanwhile, I'm sitting down. I'm trying to relax. I'm making a post on Facebook and YouTube. And my wife says, the guest bathroom smells. I'm like, great. My house just got robbed. I got robbed of my money twice. I recovered it once, and then the cops took it. Now I got to deal with plumbing issues. It's my house. I own my house. I don't rent. So if there's something wrong, I either need to fix it or get paid to fix it. So I go into the guest restroom. From here to me, my hands touching the screen, that distance, there's a toilet. In between me and you guys, reach out, you can touch the toilet. I open up the door where I'm pretending to stand, that distance that I'm showing you here. He took a poo on my floor. So I decided to take a picture of it before I cleaned it up. I did clean it up. I'm manned up, and I cleaned up somebody else's feces. Disgusting. But I took the picture down to the police station. I figured, I don't know what you guys can do with it, if you guys can do anything with it, but I figured you guys should know. And I showed the cop the picture, and you know what I was told? That's his thing. What do you mean that's his thing? That's his thing. He had hit 2 houses and a church prior to mine. I don't know if it was in the same day, but it was prior to mine. And in all 3 places, he took a dump on the floor like the movie Home Alone. Wet bandits. They used to flood the houses when they leave. This dude is dropping deuces in the houses after he's robbed them and broken in. Very sick individual. But anyway, it's been quite some time, and I just left work. As you can see, I still got my burgundy button up on. I just left work. I'm going to recover my money. The district attorney sent me a paper, which maybe I'll show you now. So as you can see, it's here. It says after an whatever that word's adjudicatory hearing held on September 24th, the above named juvenile, which I have folded so you can't see, has tendered a admission of multiple delinquent acts, which is basically a plea of guilty on all the charges at hand. The court defers the determination as to whether the juvenile is in need of treatment, supervision, or rehabilitation. He probably needs all three. The court has transferred the case to Luzerne County for deposition. If you have any questions, call, and that's the number that I did call to get a hold of the district attorney. Very truly yours, district attorney's signature, but I don't want to expose anybody's identity. That's the reason I have the stuff crossed off. And at that juncture, it said the case is closed. Well, I'm like, whoa, case is closed? I should get my money back, right? So I called the district attorney, and I spoke to the district attorney, and I said, seeing as how this paper says that the case has been closed, when do I get my money back? She's like, well, what type of money was it? I said, at this juncture, I don't even remember an exact count. It was around $300 or $400. And I told her, like, he even had like $50 in quarters or something. And she's like, really? They didn't let you keep the change? Referring to the cops not letting me keep the change. I said, they didn't let me keep nothing. They were holding it for evidence. She told me, well, there is no reason for them to be holding it because the case is closed. The district attorney office will no longer need that for evidence at all. That she would call them and get back to me. She never got back to me, but the very next day, the police department, the chief of the police that is holding my money got back to me and said, this was yesterday, he called me and said, if you want to come by tomorrow at some point after work to pick it up, you can do so. I said, well, 1 or 2 o'clock I'll be around, and I'm getting low battery here. We should be good. 1 or 2 o'clock I will be around to pick it up. My wife just called me. It's just after 1 o'clock. The cop called her, said, well, where is he at? He said 1. I said 1 or 2. So I had my wife call him back and say, look, he's leaving work in about 10 minutes. So that's where I'm heading now. I'm heading to go recover my money. My iPhone battery's gonna die here soon. Hopefully I'll be able to update you guys on what happened, and that's your update, man. The child is being prosecuted. He's actually being taken, the case is being taken to a larger county, and they're going to figure out what they want to do with him as far as he needs counseling, he needs to be placed in somewhere, or I don't know. But that's the update for now. I'll update you further once I get my money. We are at the police station. We're going to go in and see if we can get our money. Yeah, there we go, guys. So I got my money back after I think it was 3 or 4 months. The cop said he was super nice. He asked me if I was satisfied with what had happened and the way things were handled. I said he apologized for having my monies for so long. Just said it was protocol. And he was kind of rushing me to get there because he had to hit the road and he couldn't release it until I was there. Like, he couldn't take it out of evidence until I was there. These 200s right there was a tip that I got for doing a catering event, and the very next day they were gone. The very next day this dude broke into my house. So it's crazy. These two, dude, I worked like 12 hours, super hard catering to a large function. Those were well deserved. The rest of the money, I'm happy to have back as well as the chain and change. And he had a silver dollar and a 50-cent piece, and I got my money back, guys. The kid's again being transferred to Luzerne County, and they're gonna deal with him now later.